Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from East Providence, Rhode Island, home of now the five-time Super Bowl champions, New England Patriots. Undoubtedly, unquestionably, and no doubt it, the greatest Super Bowl of all time has just gone down tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Michael Flecha alongside Anthony Florio and Michel Bullock. Welcome to the recap and the post-game wrap of Super Bowl 51. The Patriots wins it 34-28 in overtime. Yes, the first ever overtime game in the Super Bowl's history went down tonight after New England came back. At one point was down 21-3 at halftime, down 28-9. New England scored 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to tie the game, and then wins it in overtime on the first drive. There is so much we have to talk about in this game. There's so much we need to get into. I mean, oh my God. Oh, let's start it off. New England had the first possession. They went 3 and out. Atlanta had their first possession. Nothing happened there. Then the first mistake of the Super Bowl was committed by New England. After a decent looking drive was going, start of the second quarter, your Garrett Blunt makes a run, gets about 4 yards, and then coughs it up. Alford makes the recovery business and led to the first score of the Super Bowl. It ended up being Devontae Freeman from 5 yards out, touchdown Atlanta. They get the 7-0 lead. Then, in the second quarter, Atlanta gets another drive. They started making a nice little run, got it down close enough into red zone territory, and then Austin Hooper from 19 yards out, pass from Matt Ryan, touchdown Atlanta. That gave them a 14-0 lead, and they were not. Then a 12-play drive. It looked like the Patriots had something going, trying to make a big run out of it. Well, there was a player hater in the house. Tom Brady gets intercepted by Robert Alford, and he runs 82 yards to the house. Touchdown Atlanta, 21-0. New England ended up getting a field goal by Stephen Gostkowski that made it 21-3, a 41-yard field goal, and that sent everything into recess. Second half, 3 and out for Atlanta, 3 and out New England. Then Atlanta strikes again, as it ended up being finding Tevin Coleman from 6 yards out, touchdown Atlanta. It was 28-3 Atlanta. Then New England starts to make a comeback. It ended up being James White from 5 yards out, touchdown. They go for the PAT and misses. That was crucial. That was very crucial. Atlanta goes 3 and out. Another opportunity, marches it back down the field, couldn't do nothing. They stall at the 15-yard line. Stephen Gostkowski gets a 33-yard field goal. That made the score at that point 28-12. Then a crucial moment in the Super Bowl. The game swung. Matt Ryan goes back to pass, gets hit, sacked by Dante Hightower, fumble on the play, recovered by Alan Branch. That puts New England in business. A couple of plays later, it was Tom Brady to Danny Amendola for the touchdown. That made it 20. Made it at the time 20-18. They go for the 2-point conversion. James White gets it. That is good. 28-20. Game on in Houston. Then Atlanta does nothing. They punt it away. Then a 10-play, 91-yard drive, elapsing only 2 minutes and 33 seconds. James White gets the touchdown from 1 yard out, 28-26. Then Brady to Amendola. Amendola just sneaks enough to get the 2-point conversion. Tie game in the Super Bowl. Basically, nothing happens after that. We go into overtime. New England wins the coin toss. They get the ball first, and it was a precision by the Patriots. 8 plays, 75 yards at 3 minutes and 58 seconds. James White from 2 yards out wins the Lombardi Trophy for the New England Patriots. Game over. 34-28. New England wins the title here tonight in undoubtedly the greatest Super Bowl I have ever seen in NFL history. Just to give you a box score of in this game, Tom Brady, the most valuable player of the Super Bowl, 43 of 62, 466 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. And what a game he had. 17 of 23, 284, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Basically, the rushing for New England was pretty quiet for most of the night. Garrett Blount, 11 carries for 31 yards. James White, 6 carries, 29 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the touchdown that won the game. Dion Lewis has 6 carries for 27 yards. In Atlanta, Devontae Freeman, 11 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And Tevin Coleman, 7 carries for 29 yards. Receiving-wise, James White was the high man for New England. 14 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Julian Edelman, 5 catches for 87 yards. Danny Amendola, 8 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Malcolm Mitchell, 6 catches for 70 yards. Avante Martellus Bennett, 5 catches for 62 yards. Chris Hogan, 4 catches for 57 yards. Atlanta, oh my God. Where do I go? Julio Jones, 4 catches, 87 yards. Tyler Gabriel, 3 catches for 76 yards. Devontae Freeman, 2 catches for 46 yards. Austin Hooper had 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown in the game. Mohamed Sanu, 2 catches for 25 yards. Man, I mean, it was an unbelievable Super Bowl. Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend. What do you have to say about this game?
What an ending to the ball game. That's the first thing I got to do. I mean, I had to go there. And in case you were wondering, Michael Flecha, yes, I did indeed get it. I did the emotional commentary like I usually do. A little later on, I'll give you a recreation of call, but nonetheless, yes, indeed. Hello, friends. Anthony Florio here with you for the recap of what will forever go down as the greatest Super Bowl of all time. Are you kidding me right now? 28-3, you're thinking this thing's over. Pack up the headsets, we're going home. We're all done here. At one point, I'll admit it, I even told this to Bullock because Bullock hit me up briefly. And I'll admit this to you, MF. At one point during this game, I fell asleep because the route was on. I'm thinking, all right, wake me when it's over. And then I wake up and I see this happening. Whoa. Holy guacamole. I mean, it's like I just said I just posted on Facebook just a little short time ago. I posted it in my status, and I don't know what else I have to say except this. I mean, my friends, I want you to remember where you were tonight. Remember this day for as long as you live. February 5th, 2017 was the night we all witnessed the greatest Super Bowl of all time. From an absolute dud to a five-star classic, chock full of the absolute finest Shakespearean drama ever. What an ending to the ball game. Congratulations to the New England Patriots and their wonderful fans, especially a certain diehard fan who we're going to hear from shortly, who I know is who I would say for the better part of probably the last hour or so has been bouncing around like Tigger. He knows who he is. We'll get to him in a minute. But the other one, of course, Derek Ferreira, my relatives, my select members of my family who are Patriot fans, all of those in my church family who are diehard Patriot fans, you know who you guys are. Whoa. Be broken. Tom Brady sets a new record, 466 yards, surpassing my man, the new Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner. And there's no question about it. Whether you love him or you hate him, you can't help but respect him. Tom Brady, and I want to be put on the record for this. Tom Brady is now quarterback to ever play the game. And Bill Belichick, I said it on the preview Friday night. I said if he won the Super Bowl, I was going to consider him the greatest coach of all time. Done. Bill Belichick, you are now the greatest head coach in NFL history. Greatest comeback I've ever seen. Enjoy it, Patriot fans. The words of the IWC when one of their heroes goes all the way. You deserve it. You deserve it. Wow. I never thought we'd see the day an overtime was going to happen in the Super Bowl. And it happened. We got it here tonight. I mean, like Michael Flecha said that night when the Bruins went to the finals on the greatest Strictly Sports show of all time, June 7th of 2013, although I think tonight's show is going to surpass it. Michael Flecha said it best. A night to remember. The city of Boston and all of New England are celebrating the overall 30 professional sports championship in the history of New England / Boston sports. The Celtics, 17 NBA championships, 9 World Series championships, 8 by the Red Sox, 1 by the old Boston Braves. I forgot about the Boston Braves. I was so focused on the Red Sox. But the Boston Braves, that technically counts. So that's 9 World Series championships. 6 Boston Bruins Stanley Cups. 5 New England Patriot Super Bowl championships. They got one for the thumb. 28-3, I'm thinking it's over. I'm thinking the city of Atlanta is about to celebrate only their second championship of all time. The Atlanta Braves went to 5 World Series. They only managed to win 1 in 1995. Falcons, 2 Super Bowls. First one, they had no chance. This one, they had it all but one. We were getting ready to anoint them. We were getting ready to crown them. But in the immortal words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friends. The New England Patriots, they found a way. And as I've said on our show many of times over the years, I don't know what it is about this team, but they always find a way to win. And tonight, we saw the epitome of that statement here tonight. They found a way to win. I can't believe it. 10 years ago in the AFC Championship game against the Indianapolis Colts, the Patriots had a humongous lead, and it looked like they were well on their way to the Super Bowl. But then the Indianapolis Colts came back, and we witnessed the greatest AFC Championship game of all time, and that still is the greatest one to this day. Go figure, 10 years later, the Patriots would be on the receiving end of the beatdown, and somehow, some way, they come back and win. For the better part of a decade, I had said that Super Bowl 42 was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. No more. This is now the greatest of all time. Anytime you get overtime in the Super Bowl for the first time ever, of course it's going to be the greatest of all time. That's automatic. What else is there to say? 466 yards by Tom Brady, 2 TDs. He threw a pick. He was sacked 5 times. And yet they still found a way to win. Don't take away anything from Matty Ice, though, the MVP. 17 of 23, 284 yards, 2 TDs. He was also sacked 5 times. You gave it to Brady. If Brady doesn't set that record, I think in all honesty, you should have considered James White for MVP as well. 139 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns. 110 receiving, 1 TD, and then 29 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, including the Super Bowl winning touchdown for the New England Patriots. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Freeman, 75 yards and a touchdown, and everything went New England's way. I mean, for so many times in Super Bowl history, how many times did we see a wacky catch that went against the Patriots? David Tyree in 42, Mario Manningham in 46. I don't remember if it was Baldwin or Curse in 49. Miraculous catch for Seattle. They get a catch that went their way. Did you see that catch by Julian Edelman? That was the turning point of that game right there. He doesn't make that catch, New England doesn't win this Super Bowl. We'd be talking about the Atlanta Falcons as first time ever Super Bowl champions. But Julian Edelman, I lost my freaking mind on commentary. Fletcher's probably thinking, oh, Florio probably lost his voice on that catch. You damn skippy hippie. I did just that. That's the greatest catch in Super Bowl history. That's even greater than Tyree's. I don't care what anybody says. Both defenses played very well. 5 sacks apiece on both sides. For New England, Trey Flowers. I mean, you could have made an argument for Flowers as MVP. 2.5 sacks. Dante Hightower gets a sack. And then half a sack apiece for Jabal Sheard, Alan Branch, and Kyle Van Noy. Falcons side, they too had 5 sacks of all. They too had 5 sacks on the evening. 3 by Grady Jarrett. 1 by the ageless wonder, Dwight Freeney, and 1 for Courtney Upshaw. I'm very surprised that the sack leader, Vic Beasley, didn't get 1. But, wow. And then Robert Alford with the interception return. I mean, I'm going to be real honest with you. Do you know what really, when I really thought the real turning point was? We not only witnessed the greatest Super Bowl of all time, but in my opinion, I think we witnessed the greatest Super Bowl halftime show of all time. When Gaga got out there, she tore it up. And I think it was at that moment that I think that's when it really started to turn. And then the game turned around, and here we are. I honestly thought when we were going to come on the air tonight, I thought we were going to talk about yet another meh Super Bowl after that meh Super Bowl we had last year with Carolina and Denver. I never thought in my wildest dreams. I mean, 28-3, I'm like, yeah, this is over. Wake me when it's over. I never thought in my wildest dreams we would go from 28-3 to 34-28 in overtime, and the New England Patriots Boy, howdy. Come all the way back. This is the greatest comeback in the history of sports. I don't care what anybody says. This is greater than when the Buffalo Bills came back from 35-3 down against the Houston Oilers in that wild card game. It's greater. It's greater than a regular season game between the Indians and the Mariners in 2001 on a Sunday night, when the Indians came back from 12 runs to win. I mean, I've seen a lot of great comebacks in my day, but honest to goodness, here tonight, this tops the list. This tops the list. And I am so grateful and so blessed to have been a part of something so special. This is something you're going to tell your children about. This is something you're going to tell your grandchildren about if you're fortunate enough to have them. But man, oh man alive, remember where you were on February 5th, 2017. Because on this night, and who knows what the rating is going to be. I know the rating is going to come out sometime tomorrow. I'm sure Fletcher, somebody will be all over it. But I think this is going to go down as the most watched Super Bowl of all time. I bet those ratings jumped. And we all learned a valuable lesson here tonight, my friends. We all learned a valuable lesson. Never change the channel. Never. Especially if you're a Patriot fan. I'm sure a lot of Patriot fans tuned out. But I didn't tune out. MF didn't tune out. Bullock damn sure didn't tune out. We stuck with it the whole way. And boy, howdy, are we glad we did. Do we have every right to change the channel? You damn right. But tonight, after this, wow. 5-star classic. The most finest Shakespearean drama of all time. That I get to be a part of doing this with two of my best friends in the whole world, and good old MF Michael Flecha and Michael Bullock. I'm glad that we all got to witness history. Greatest comeback ever, greatest Super Bowl ever, greatest Super Bowl halftime show ever. And Derek wanted me to mention this. He wanted me to mention this, my epic post here. He asked me to mention this before I give it to Bullock. He said, last year I had France beating Portugal 1-0 when my heart was with the Portuguese, but I had the French winning. This year it was the same exact thing with this Super Bowl. Mentioned this on the show tonight. According to his niece, Nickelodeon had the Falcons winning this Super Bowl. And in November, they had Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump, in which Donald Trump won the election. Can I say Nickelodeon curse? A moment ago, I didn't change the channel. Saw the whole game, and when the Pats came back, my inner Demon King came out. In case you're living under a rock, Demon King, that's Finn Balor. For all you professional wrestling nuts out there. In which Derek Ferreira, Mark IV. And God forbid when he comes back, I can only imagine how nuts he's going to go when Finn Balor is medically cleared to come back to the WWE, but that's a story for another day. The story for right now is best Super Bowl ever. And I know MF is wondering in the corner of his mind right now. He's saying, all right, Anthony, how did you do the winning call? How did you do it? Because, I asked him, what did he do when the Cubs won the World Series back in November? Well, I'm going to give it to you straight from the heart. I said the handoff to White. James White. Touchdown. Patriots win. The greatest comeback in Super Bowl history is now complete. The New England Patriots have got one for the thumb. Can you believe it? Holy cow, are you kidding?
And Florio, can you imagine what the guys on the Patriots radio network and Bob Sochi and Scott Zolak what the call must have been like there?
Scott Zolak, I'm going to tell you right now, If I know Scott Zolak,
he probably lost his freaking mind.
He probably had a heart attack, Bullock. I'm telling you right now. He probably had a heart attack like
he probably I think the heart attack that he had tonight was probably even 10 times more than he had 2 years ago when Malcolm Butler had that interception.
And all Patriot fans for that matter. Throughout this night, I will most definitely be scrambling on YouTube to find reaction videos. Because I mean, if you thought they went nuts after the Butler did it 2 years ago, then when those videos come out, I mean, social media is blowing up. What else is new? Facebook's blowing up. Twitter's blowing up. Today, the college football playoff national championship with Clemson and Alabama, that was a 5-star Shakespearean drama. But this game tonight made that one look like an absolute dud. That's all there is to say about it. My brothers, part of this. This is one we're going to remember. We're never going to forget this night for as long as we live. A night to remember, a moment to remember. And that's all I can say on that. I want to bring Michael Bullock in, the most diehard New England Patriot fan that I know, although I know a lot of others. And Bullock, before we get to your thoughts, you know where I'm going with this. Let's do it one time. Let's do it for old time's sake. What do? This one's for you, Ryback.
Feed me more.
Come on.
Feed me more. Feed me
Come on.
more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Done. Finish it.
Finish it. Michael Bullock, the floor is all yours, my friend. Looks like you got some more shopping to do, brother.
Oh, yeah. And there's another thing we got to do. In the immortal words of Daniel Bryan, yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. I mean, I know I'm having a tough time right now because I'm still trying to recover from that finish.
We all are.
I mean, and yes, I do have more shopping to do tomorrow. I mean, not just for me, but for my entire family. Because we're all going to be getting Super Bowl championship shirts. And for me, anyways, the hat as well. So, but man, oh man, what a game. I mean, and you just said, Florio, and you and I both agreed. Super Bowl 42 back then was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. Not anymore. This now, Super Bowl 51, is now the greatest Super Bowl of all time. I mean, it looks so bleak from the beginning. I mean, the Falcons were basically, they were on fire. The only thing the Patriots could muster in the first half was a field goal, and the way they were down by by 3 touchdowns at halftime. I'm sure everybody was thinking, "Yeah, it's over." And then as the Falcons scored again, you were thinking it's over. And I'm pretty sure that there were some TVs around New England. They were probably switching to another channel or basically turning it off. But then after hearing the comeback, they turn it right back on. And even the broadcaster said it. Even Joe Buck and Troy Aikman said, you can never count out the New England Patriots. And we saw the comeback. They scored 31 unanswered points to win their 5th Vince Lombardi trophy. And I agree as well. Tom Brady is now the greatest quarterback of all time. And Bill Belichick is now considered the greatest head coach of all time. Tom Brady is now the Super Bowl MVP for the 4th time in his Hall of Fame career. And you could have also considered James White for MVP as well. I agree with that. I mean, look at the game that he had. I mean, 14 catches for 110 yards with 1 touchdown, and I mean, what a performance! I mean, I think Brady and White should have been co-MVP, and yeah, I mean, oh man, this was, and yeah, I mean, you go back to that Super Bowl 42 with Tyree making that unbelievable catch, and then of course the Manningham catch in Super Bowl 46, and then you had that Jermaine Kearse unbelievable catch. You were like thinking, when are we gonna get a break like that? What we did tonight with that unbelievable catch by Julian Edelman. I mean, oh my goodness. This was this was one of the greatest. I mean, like I said, this was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. I mean, I don't know what else is there to be said. Congratulations to the New England Patriots, Super Bowl 51 champs, and they now have one for the thumb. And we can say that the Tom Brady revenge tour is now complete. Man, I don't know what else is there to say. I mean, Flecha, I mean, I don't know how we. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna follow this. Fletch,
I think it's only fit. I think it's only fitting that we end it with the voice of the NFL. Anthony Florio, I want you to do something that I never thought I would let you do, but you're and deserving of this moment. Wrap up our program here tonight. Programming reminder, we are going to do programming reminder tomorrow night is a special edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Tuesday night is going to be the Cerebral Smack Talk, and I want to say before I toss it to Anthony so that he could end it for our evening, thank you to Michael Bullock. Thank you, Anthony, as always. And please like this video, subscribe to the channels, to Anthony's channel, to Derek's channel, to my channel. Send this video out through all of the social media outlets, including the Sports Cave on YouTube.com. And with that, I say thank you and good night, Anthony Florio. And it is all yours.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, MF. This is quite an honor. It's not often that I show my face on camera, but I'm going to do it tonight because this moment is so big. I have to do it on camera here. So, yes, indeed. Well said, my friend. Well said indeed. So, like I said, remember where you were tonight, my friends, because this was the greatest Super Bowl of all time. All of us here were a part of something we're never going to forget for as long as we live. What an ending to the ball game. It just goes to show you, never give up. Don't ever give up. The late, great Jim Valvano said that in his SB speech in 93. And the rest is history. I want to thank everyone who was a part of this one here tonight. All of the hardworking crew who made this night the most unforgettable when it comes to our family of networks. This is definitely one we're going to treasure for as long as we live. And if we're ever fortunate enough to have kids, grandkids, what have you, we're damn sure going to tell them about this night. February 5th of 2017, the night we witnessed the greatest Super Bowl of all time. the greatest comeback of all time, and debatable to some, but to me, the greatest halftime show in Super Bowl history. A night to remember, a moment to remember. This is NFL. This was NFL football at its absolute finest here tonight. Michael Flecha, well done, my friend. It was another phenomenal ride. 22 years we've been doing this. How's 2017, 2018 going to follow that? I have no clue. But it was an honor to do this with you one more time. Another year in the books. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for us next year as we start the road to Minnesota, the beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium.
And, of course, the big question now is who's going to be coming to Foxborough on that opening night?
That's a great question, Michael Bullock. We don't know who that is, but we'll look into it. We'll look up the schedule in a moment or so. But from the sights and the sounds of Houston, Texas, the best sight of all, and I a little bit of a botcheroo here, but this is something that we should have mentioned. How sweet was it to see the sight of Roger Goodell handing the Lombardi Trophy over to Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots? That completed the revenge tour right there. Oh, what a sight that was for Patriot fans. No question about that. But there is no question about it. Love him or hate him. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. Bill Belichick, greatest head coach of all time. On behalf of everyone, the hardworking men and women who make these shows possible and who made this telecast tonight possible, we want to sincerely thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And like Daniel Bryan said in his retirement speech a year ago, when it comes to what we saw tonight and being a part of it, we were grateful. Thank you. God bless you, my friends. We'll talk to you again next year. Good night, everybody.